Hey all, I hope everyone's doing well. It's been some time that I made a video, and there's a lot on my mind, so I thought about doing another of these vlog sessions. And we are in a world called Rainy Evening. It was one of the VRChat worlds that I used for Wake Me Up, which is hitting around 65,000 views now, which is pretty unimaginable. Actually, it's like after my YouTube channel kind of died out, uh, it's the only video that is getting recommended still. It's getting like, I don't know, like more than 100 views each day. And I wanted to do a small like retrospective about my past as a person doing VRChat music videos, and where I am currently and how I got here. So in December 2022, I released my first cover album. It was called Heartbreak. It was after a very hard time of mine. It was like a snapshot of a moment. I just got out of my hardest time in my life and just barely touched love, but ended up losing it again. And there was a lot of like emptiness inside of me, like someone just shot out in the universe, and just being silent, feeling distant, and the world felt like unreachable. And that's how Emptiness came to be, and that was my first original song since I started doing these videos. And there was also one shot before that. It was done in summer, and I worked on it like for a lot of months. I remember I shot 200 or 300 videos and cut them together while we were on vacation. And I literally thought of that song and the music video that I only have one chance. The lyrics, like, they have that you only have one chance, and I literally meant it. And unfortunately, the amount of time and effort that went into the song, it just wasn't a success. I mean, I felt like people just don't really connect with that. Like, whether it's like K-pop, the style of music, or I don't really know what the reason was. So yeah, and also with Heartbreak, I kind of had the same thing, that it carried a lot of emotions. It was really special to me, and I remember that just started singing, and I really had to push myself to be able to record all the vocals. And I think the next step when I started learning how to sing was Sexy and Special. And I think that was the last release under the name Benny Wolf. So it was kind of like a end of a part of my life. I mean, I thought that these songs would connect with the furry community, but actually they didn't. They just weren't for the furry audience. And I think I just tried too hard to reach an audience which wasn't, didn't really hear that message. And, as time passed, I kind of started drifting away, away from YouTube, from the furry community, and also the identity that I've started building. So, it kind of felt like as YouTube faded, also did my place, my music in that world. But it was last autumn when something changed, where I decided to stop investing into these things and start a new chapter. And it wasn't about trying to fit in. It was more about, not trying to fit in, but to start listening to my own voice, to my own story, and trying to get that out. And I realized that I had to create a new home for myself. And I came to realize that when I started a TikTok channel where I was able to just be who I am. It wasn't really about only music. It was about how I see life, what I went through. And it was really interesting because, to my surprise, a lot of people started showing up, especially from my own home country, who doesn't have a big furry community. So people just saw a person in a costume, so they didn't even know what it was. And as I was working on my songs, more like quietly, that's when I decided to get one song out of my album and finish it up in a high standard, and it was Hanei. And I think that was the first breakthrough, and that really that song really had a strong message against or about greed, about blind conformity to the world that we sell for. And it really carried the message, not just in lyrics and emotionally, but also in the aesthetics, that I wanted to be that wolf, that being that leads others to a vision for a better future. And that dream, may have, started to unfold, and maybe I'm able to find people to, who hear that message. And, I had to realize that I'm not some kind of pop act or TikTok trend, or I'm not even really a furry musician. I'm just me. So that's how Yamazaki came. And Yamazaki was basically giving myself a high standard, an identity that was deep inside of me, and wanted to bring the best out of that. And it also meant what I did my whole life is carving, my own road that never really existed before. Because, the culturally, and what I went through is, the whole thing is quite unique. And my childhood dreams, I I just had to find the people who believe in things that is more than just the surface. So it's not, it's much more than entertainment, because entertainment has that kind of magic, but that magic is also a fake. And it's like people want easy entertainment, and they don't really want to invest a lot of time in understanding something that they don't really feel connected to. So on the other hand, haven't really been on stage for months. It's been like half a year now, and to be honest, I do miss it. But on the other hand, it was last year's Furry, where I really poured a lot of energy and emotion into my performance, both with the messages that I wanted to project, and how it felt emotionally for me. That was the moment where I really felt it was like so real, and that's really what I want to aim for. So just had to realize that just have to do things not for applause, or just try to belong somewhere I didn't fit. And I do have things to say, and just had to realize that I'm grounded where Yamazaki is, and just had to find my own path. And I do believe that I'm not alone on this journey, and we'll cross this bridge together that I've been talking about a lot of times. And I'll always stand up for those who are trying to make something beautiful in this broken world. And I really have high hopes, and things started to change, and I'm really excited where all this leads. Just wanted to express how I felt, and also a lot of things changed. The people who follow me now, the countries they're from, where they come from culturally, I just had to realize it's completely different from since the actual art is different. So yeah, it's so strange to see that people from Asia or Latin America, or start to connect, and it's really interesting to see how my work gets publicity and hearing in Japan or Taiwan, or places like these, while being a Hungarian furry IT technician, musician, person. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things I never really thought of, and I'm really looking forward to where this will go. And I want to thank all of you who have stayed with me from the early days, and being there for me while all these transitions were made. And I wanted to say that I never been so close to myself to who I am, and this is what I am. So yeah, I'm glad to be here, and I wish you all a great day. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.